Hi everyone, it's AG Twins. Welcome back to another video, or welcome if you're new, and please subscribe to my channel to see more doll videos from me. In this video, I'm going to do something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I'm going to try to fix up my Samantha doll. I've had Samantha since I was 8 years old, and she was my first doll with long hair, so she's definitely been very well loved and in need of some serious TLC. I don't tend to reach for her very much because she's in such bad shape, so this is kind of my attempt to try to like my Samantha a little bit more. I see Samantha dolls in this kind of condition all the time on the secondhand market. So whether you have one you just got or are looking to fix one up before you sell, keep watching to see how it goes. The first thing that's wrong with her is a pretty easy fix. She has some stuffing here that's just peeking out of her neck. I didn't get that on video, but to fix that, I'm just going to untie her neck strings, tuck the stuffing back in, and then tie her head back on. It took like a minute to do and was super easy. Less easy to fix, and the main thing in need of attention here is her hair. It's super dry and frizzy and has been brushed so much that it has some pieces at the bottom that have just been pulled out to be a little longer than the rest of her hair, and the curl is pretty much completely gone. Just to start off on a clean slate, I'm going to wash her hair. I covered her eyes with cotton pads mostly because of her bangs. I was worried that those would make it easier for water to get in her eyes, so I did that to protect them, and I just used Dawn dish soap to wash her hair. I did end up using conditioner, just the one I had in my bathroom, but usually I don't. I just figured her hair was bad enough that it could use all the help it can get, but I don't think that's necessarily a required step here. Then I'm going to gently brush out all the tangles from her hair and make sure that it's straight, starting at the bottom and working my way up to the top so I'm not ripping through the knots, but just trying to brush them out as gently as I can. Then while her hair is still soaking wet from being washed, I use a straightener on the lowest possible heat setting to straighten her hair. I know Samantha doesn't normally have straight hair, but my game plan here is to straighten it first since her hair is very, very dry and frizzy, and then also do a hot water dunk with her hair and curlers to get the curl back and to further help with the texture of her hair. I only filmed one pass through her hair, but I did turn around and do the same thing again off camera and straighten all of her hair one more time because I still felt like I could feel the frizziness and I wanted to be able to really take my time and do the best that I can to fix her up. Then, after her hair has dried a bit, I trimmed some of the ends of her hair. I didn't want to take any of the real length off of her hair. It wasn't my intention to fully give her a haircut, but she did have these stringy little ends that have been pulled out farther from her wig cap due to excessive brushing as a child, and now they just stick out longer than the true length of her hair and just make it look messier. So that's what I'm trimming off here. I forgot to get a clip of her hair dry after the straightening, but it was much softer than it was to begin with, and I could run my fingers through it without getting stuck. But it definitely wasn't perfect, especially near the ends. I could still feel some of the frizziness, and the top of her head still had some broken pieces and frizziness as well. As I mentioned, I'm also going to do a hot water dunk on her hair to get the curl back, but also to further help with the dryness and frizziness. It was just so bad to start out with that I decided to straighten it first beforehand because I thought it might need the extra help. I'm putting Samantha's hair into pin curls here by using just this lip gloss tube to wrap her hair around and secure it with bobby pins. I used the lip gloss instead of a pencil or something else because Samantha's hair is really supposed to be more wavy or loosely curly than have tight ringlets, so I was hoping to achieve bigger curls by wrapping it around something that's a bit larger in diameter than a pencil. Then I boiled some water on the stove top and poured it into a bowl and let it sit for about 5 minutes. I covered Samantha's eyes with cotton pads again to protect them from the steam. Then I dipped her hair into the hot water, making sure all of the curls made it into the water. I kind of decided to do something a little riskier here. I decided to dunk her head all the way up to her scalp, getting the wig cap wet. People usually specifically say not to do this when fixing up a doll, but the reason I decided to is because the top of her hair was also dry and frizzy, and I just wanted to see if I could fix that as well. I figured that the worst thing that would happen was if the hot water melted the glue holding her wig on and her wig fell off, and in that case, I would just glue it back on. So I felt like it was a risk worth taking. To kind of mediate the risk a little bit, I did also have a bowl of cold water that I took turns dunking her head into, so hopefully it wouldn't let her scalp get too hot. I did this several times and then wrapped a towel around her and let her dry for the rest of the day. Another thing I'm worried about is these bobby pins might leave dents in her hair, but I had to use them because I didn't have real curlers, so we'll see. I let her hair dry for about 10 hours before taking a look. I did notice that there was a spot here before I took the curlers out where I could see her wig cap. I'm pretty sure that's just because I brushed her hair so much over the years that she's lost a lot of hair, so it's thinner than it was meant to be. But I did see that her wig cap was loose here. You can see that I can move it around, but it's still secure all the way around the edges, so it's not going to fall off. I didn't think to check this before I did the hot water dunk, so I'm honestly not sure if this was from dunking her wig cap in the hot water or if it's just due to age and wear and tear on this doll. I took the curlers out and it looks like the hot water worked and her hair is holding the curls really nicely. The only thing is that I can see the indents in her hair where the bobby pins were, which isn't a huge deal, but it kind of messes with the shape of the curls a little bit. I found this other spot in her hair where her wig cap is exposed if you really look for it, and she kind of has this big bald spot. Again, I'm sure that's just because she lost so much hair from brushing it as a child, but you can see how the wig cap is kind of saggy and loose. But the top of her hair looks amazing now. You can no longer tell that it had all those flyaway and frizzy bits, and it's super soft. I think I'm gonna have to run my fingers through her hair a bit more to get the curls to loosen, and I'm sure they'll drop in time as well. But this is what she looks like right now. Her curls are back and the hair is shiny and soft again. I'm super impressed with how nice it looks. Overall, here are my thoughts after my first time doing this intensive of a doll restoration. If you're using this video to do some of your research on how to fix up a doll of your own, here are my thoughts. As far as what I would not do again, I wouldn't straighten the hair before I did the hot water dunk. It didn't hurt the hair or anything, but it might have been kind of a waste of time. The hair turned out so much softer and shinier after the hot water dunk that I think I might just do that alone next time and see if I could achieve the same result. For what I would do, I would invest in some curlers instead of using the bobby pins just because of the dents that they left in her hair. I think it would be worth it to get a nice result for the shape of the curls. I would also use much bigger sections when curling her hair so the curls don't get as tight and are as closer to the loose curls that Samantha is supposed to have. I would do the same thing though if I were doing this to a Ruthie, Rebecca, or Lainey doll or some other doll like that with tighter curls. It definitely worked for that purpose, it just wasn't quite the look I was going for. Lastly, I might wait until the hair was curled and hot water dunked to trim it. I don't think what I did was bad, however, the scraggly ends might not have been as noticeable after the hot water dunk and curl. I honestly don't know if I would hot water dunk her hair all the way up to the wig cap again. On one hand, it totally worked and the top of her hair looks so much better. It's not frizzy anymore and it's very soft. And I kind of think it would have been weird if I only dunked the ends and the ends were really nice and soft and shiny, but the top of her head was still frizzy and dry. But also, her wig cap is loose now. The edges are totally fine, it's not going to fall off, but I can move it around in the middle. I really can't say whether that happened because of the dunk or if it was like that before due to heavy play. Either way, it's not great, but I really just intend to have her be a display doll, so I care more about the appearance of her hair than how secure her wig is since I won't be pulling on it and playing with it. So I guess just do it at your own risk. I do have a Sonali doll whose hair is actually even worse than Samantha's is, so I'll have to figure out whether this is worth doing again before I try to fix her up. Let me know if you have any thoughts or if you've done this on one of your dolls before and have some advice for me. Thanks for watching as I learned some new things and fixed up my childhood doll.